course. Here's an additional 500-word paragraph, continuing the story of Margaret and expanding the topic. As Margaret continued her journey, she realized that the benefits of these changes went far beyond what she had imagined. Within a few months, her energy levels had soared, allowing her to return to hobbies she once loved but had given up due to fatigue, like gardening and painting. Her friends at the community center noticed the transformation too. Many began asking, "Margaret, what's your secret?" She gladly shared her newfound wisdom about the powerful role nuts and mindful eating played in healthy aging. Margaret even began hosting a small Wellness Wednesday gathering where she and her friends would swap healthy recipes, share stories of success, and sometimes bring different nut-based snacks to sample. These meetings not only helped her stay accountable, but also deepened her social connections, which studies show are just as important for longevity as nutrition. Inspired by her progress, Margaret decided to work even more on her overall lifestyle. She learned that certain nuts could be incorporated cleverly into meals: walnuts sprinkled over oatmeal, almonds blended into smoothies, and pistachios added to vibrant, colorful salads. She also explored using cashew cream as a healthy alternative to heavy dairy sauces, boosting flavor without piling on bad fats. Brazil nuts became her daily ritual, one carefully savored nut every morning with her cup of green tea. This tiny routine served as a symbolic commitment to her wellness journey, a daily act of self-care and gratitude. Margaret also became more vigilant about reading food labels, a habit she had never prioritized before. She discovered just how many hidden sugars and unhealthy oils lurked in packaged foods. Even items marketed as healthy were often loaded with additives she now knew to avoid. Empowered with knowledge, she became a savvy shopper, choosing whole, unprocessed foods that nourished her body rather than burdened it. She found joy in exploring local farmers markets, chatting with growers, and selecting the freshest produce, often complemented by a small handful of her favorite nuts. Perhaps most surprisingly, Margaret found that her mental health improved alongside her physical health. Recent research backs up what she experienced. The omega-3 fatty acids in walnuts, the magnesium in almonds, and the antioxidants in pistachios can all play roles in improving mood and reducing the risk of depression. Margaret's occasional feelings of anxiety and sadness, which she had chalked up to getting older, diminished significantly. She approached each day with more optimism, confidence, and zest than she had felt in years. Now, when Margaret looks back on her decision to overhaul her diet, she doesn't see it as a sacrifice. She sees it as a gift, a way of reclaiming her independence, vitality, and joy. The small, consistent choices she made each day, like choosing a handful of nuts over a processed snack or cooking a simple meal instead of reaching for frozen dinners, had added up to something extraordinary. Margaret became a living testament to the idea that aging doesn't mean decline. It can mean thriving if you listen to your body, nourish it wisely, and never stop learning. Would you also like a shorter 2-sentence summary that I can turn into a spoken audio clip using one of our AI voices? No problem. I'll write a 500-word story for you on the topic. Over 65, 6 nuts you must eat and 5 things you should never touch. Here's the piece. Over 65, 6 nuts you must eat and 5 things you should never touch. At 67, Margaret had always considered herself relatively healthy. She walked every morning, took her vitamins, and tried her best to eat right. But after a routine checkup showed signs of high cholesterol and borderline blood sugar, her doctor gave her some advice that would change her life. Margaret, it's time to fine tune your diet, especially with the right nuts and by avoiding certain foods altogether. Curious, Margaret dove into research and spoke to a nutritionist. What she discovered amazed her. First, she learned that certain nuts are essential for seniors. These weren't just random snack choices. They were packed with nutrients critical for heart health, brain function, and strong bones. The six powerhouse nuts she added to her daily diet included 1. Almonds. Rich in vitamin E and magnesium, almonds helped Margaret improve her memory and maintain strong bones. 2. Walnuts. Full of omega-3 fatty acids, walnuts protected her heart and kept her joints feeling young. 3. Pistachios. High in antioxidants, pistachios helped lower her blood pressure naturally. 4. Brazil nuts. Just one a day gave her enough selenium to boost her immune system. 5. Cashews. Offering a good dose of iron and zinc, cashews supported her energy levels and immune health. 6. Macadamia nuts. Their healthy fats made them perfect for improving cholesterol ratios without adding unhealthy weight. Every morning, Margaret prepared a small supernut mix to snack on throughout the day. It wasn't long before she felt a renewed sense of energy and mental clarity. But the journey didn't stop there. Her nutritionist also warned her about 5 foods she should absolutely avoid. Foods that could accelerate aging, cause inflammation, and harm her heart. Margaret made a firm decision to stay away from 1. Processed meats. Bacon and sausage were off the table, filled with sodium and harmful preservatives. 2. Sugary sweets. Excess sugar not only threatened diabetes, but also sped up skin aging. 3. White bread and refined carbs. These spiked her blood sugar and contributed to energy crashes. 4. Fried foods. Although tempting, they increased her risk of heart disease dramatically. 5. Artificial sweeteners. Instead of helping her, these additives could disrupt her gut health and make cravings worse. By making simple swaps, turkey slices instead of bacon, berries instead of cookies, Margaret felt decades younger. Her cholesterol improved, her blood sugar stabilized, and she even found herself sleeping better at night. Margaret's story is a reminder. A few smart choices can dramatically impact your health after 65. Add the right nuts, ditch the worst offenders, and give your body the vibrant fuel it deserves. It's never too late to live your healthiest, happiest life. Would you also like me to create a short, 2-sentence audio version of this for you to use?